Yeah, and everybody wow. Oh, this bucket here, yeah. Grass crusher.
We don't walk so fast.
It's all right.
If you're lucky enough to get our age, you'll understand.
You're gonna watch your heads in here all the time. First part of the cave's not too bad. Later on, there's a whole bunch of areas with stalactites hidden down. You want to watch out for all those.
I'm glad I wore my shirt.
Yeah,
Oh, the flashlight, I forgot.
just push the button there.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, all the water you're going to see inside the cave actually came from the ceiling of the cave. It's not from the rain or anything through the door. I mean, that does happen when we get flooded, but see all the water dripping off of the ceiling down into this pond. And it takes about 7 years on average for water from the surface to make its way all the way down here to the cave.
Ooh, pretty clean by then.
Yes, sir, absolutely. By the time it's down to the cave, it is 98% pure, and you can actually drink the cave.
98% pure, wow.
And later on, there's a spot where it's just flowing out of the wall, and you can all get a handful and drink the cave water.
Watch your head here.
The smallest species of bats in North America, and they're also the longest hibernating species of bat in North America.
I don't see it in the camera.
Right there, right up in the corner. Right there.
Oh, okay.
And it gets its name because it's created by the flow of the water coming off the wall. You can kind of see those little waves every now and again. We have a wave go
Yeah,
across.
you want to taste it there?
filtering for 7 years or so, and all that limestone.
98% pure.
And picks up a lot of minerals over time, mostly calcium carbonate, or calcite, that's mostly what the formation is made of. Little small percentage of iron, magnesium, all that good stuff. This green junk down here, this is actually algae, this isn't really a mineral at all. But it's so wet in the cave that this stuff thrives down here, even though the only light it gets every day is just a little bit of the flashlight. Because you guys are actually feeding the algae right now.
Come on, bat. No,
Yeah,
bat.
guys.
Bats hang on over. There's some more right there. Boom, 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 right there. Yeah.
Don't go shine it down.
Watch.
And straight ahead here, we have the molar tooth. And this is actually a shield formation. But this one's unique because normally shields form off of the ceiling of a cave, but as you can see, this one is not. And no one knows for sure why it's not attached to the ceiling up there, but this is pretty unique. Now watch your head into this part here.
Yeah, watch your
Okay. Oh, look, a little pond.
Now we may or may not see little salamanders in here today. I've actually only seen 2 since the flood last October, but we have endangered salamanders in the cave. We don't see any right now. We may not see them today. They got washed around. Most of them got washed out to the end of the cave. Last year's flood. And that's where all this junk came from on the floor. All this debris was washed out here last October. And if you look over here to the ceiling to your right, this is the beginning of the underground rainforest inside the cave. And all these little soda straws are hollow. That's how they get their name. You can see them up on the ceiling there, drinking all that water out of their eyes.
Oh, man, how pretty.
Now sometimes if the flood comes through here and it's a bad enough flood, the force of the water will break off all these little straws from the ceiling because they're very, very brittle and hollow. The last time that happened, though, was 6 years ago, in 2010. This is how much progress the cave's made ever since.
Oh.
6 years.
Interesting.
And everybody, watch your head going through the low section here. This is where it really starts getting fun.
Water dropped in my ear.
Yeah.
It's cold.
And we can see our breath down here inside the cave because year-round it's about 88% humidity down here.
Yeah.
Which helps with the cave staying a constant temperature, all that humidity. Now we do have one part of the cave that we let everybody touch. Right here, this is the touching stone. You can see it's real dark and gross looking. That's from all the oil from everybody's skin. Part of the cave is dead. You don't really feel it though. You can also feel like way over here where it looks different. And it feels different because less people touch there, less oil. So that part of the cave.
Touch it up in
It's still dead, but it feels almost like it. here's a good place to see the difference between the actual limestone and the formation coming out of the limestone. This here is the actual limestone. It's a little dirty just from all the mud from the flooding and stuff. But whenever the water seeps down there and it grabs all the minerals, it comes out and forms all these formations here. You can see the difference here. So technically this is made of the same stuff that the limestone is made of, but it's not limestone.
Okay. You look back right to put your hand there.
Now, looking straight up here, this is kind of a look back in time into 48 million years ago when the cave was originally formed by an earthquake. Yeah, back then the whole cave looked just like that, all the way down here. It's real narrow, jagged, barren of any formations. But the past 48 million years of flooding have carved up the cave, and now it's wide enough down here where, well, of course, we can walk through it comfortably, and now formations formed down here in this part of the cave. And this here is the wedding dress.
Oh,
It used to be a waterfall up until about 3 years ago. It dried up just due to the drought conditions. And all the waterfalls are very dry now, but the rest of the cave is completely unaffected by drought. The ceiling looks really pretty right here. And
that looks like it broke off.
oh yeah, very well could have. Actually, that's exactly what that is. Now, up here to your left, there's a whole bunch of these ribbon formations. Otherwise known as curtains, a couple of different things. But the early papers back in the 1930s thought these looked like tobacco leaves hanging up in the
Yeah.
And then right up above the ribbons there is actually a petrified tree trunk. That's this big old brown thing that's stuck in between the walls of the cave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's been carbon dated to be about 50,000 years old.
Wow.
And it got washed down here in the flood, came through the mouth of the cave, and now it is completely turned to stone.
Now it is part of the cave.
Yes, sir, absolutely. It's part of the cave. Still a little bit of equipment down here from when we were fixing the floor after last year's flood, so just pretend like none of this stuff is here. But on over here are the twin sisters. This pair is stalagmite on the bottom, stalactite on the top. And these are special because we've been keeping track of the growth of these over the years. We lost a lot of pictures, and the earliest picture we can find is from 1982. 34 years ago, they were almost a foot separated from each other. You know, 34 years later, they're only a few inches away. Now, it may not even take 20 years, just judging by that picture, for them to grow all the way together there and form a column. sticking out of the wall right there is actually the shin bone of the mastodon. Mastodon fossil. And normally they're about 6 feet long, so the rest of that thing is back in the wall there. And this has been carbon dated at about 13,000 years old. There's other bone fragments in the wall right here, 2 big ones, a whole bunch of small ones all over the place here. And the whole body could be back behind this wall ever since it got washed down here into the cave. The cave's actually been growing over its body. So that's why we can only see just a few pieces here. Now looking up into the ceiling here, see a whole bunch of these holes up there. The ceiling kind of looks like Swiss cheese. Well, every time we get a real nasty flood, the whole cave fills completely up to the ceiling with rushing water. And that creates a whole bunch of whirlpools, spin and eat away at the top of the cave every time there's a flood.
That's something.
Yeah.
And eventually they could reach the surface, break through, and sunlight might shine down into this part of the cave. Millions, thousands of years from now.
Well, when that happens, how would that change?
Well, the entrance of the cave, the peep in the deep, that thing used to be a solution dome like these holes here, but it had broken all the way up to the surface. So maybe one day this will be the mouth of the cave.
I see. Yeah.
And there's no exact science on it, but it's believed that the cave used to be a lot longer, and that the entrance wasn't actually always the entrance. Because in 1932, that whole open area out there used to be the first room of the cave. But that year the flood got so bad that it collapsed the ceiling. It wore down real thin. Collapsed the ceiling, and now that is outside of the cave. Could have been more cave, you know.
Yeah.
Now watch your stepping here, it can be a little bit muddy. Yeah, I'm looking up to the ceiling here, you see some light up there. And that's not the sunlight though. We just put some lights up there to simulate how the air flows out of the cave. It comes through the mouth of the cave, comes on through here and exits the ceiling. And 130 feet underground we are in this room, and up, the exit to the air shaft is actually in the middle of the RV park. So we're underneath all the entire campground right here.
Oh, is this where the air shaft is up there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
We're right in there?
Yeah.
And it kind of zigzags, but
Like the muddy.
yeah, the exit to the air shaft is right in the middle of the RV.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You ever go fishing in here?
No, there's no fish in here. Right now, though, there are salamanders down in this pond here. They got washed here in the flood last year. They hang out on the floor. They're only like 3 inches long, so you can't see them. Straight ahead is the big waterfall where we get our name, the Cascade Caverns, from the Cascade waterfall. And again, yeah, let's try it because of the drought. Mother Nature. And all the water is draining down here through this shaft there. And this is actually the entrance to the lower cave. This is the only way in or out of here. And it's 30 foot deep from the surface of the water. An aluminum ladder inside. You just swim out to it and climb down. That's how we get into the lower cave. And we do those tours once a month. Third Saturday every month. Really, really, really fun.
You mean people go in there?
All the time, yeah. Well,
Do
not
they
all the
have
time.
scuba gear?
No, just regular clothes. Yeah, the water's about 60 degrees in here. It feels really, really cold. But you swim right in there and you climb down, and eventually you warm up. But it goes like another 700 feet, and then the rest of it, the rest of the cave is underwater all the way until San Antonio.
Wow.
So then it gets to Edwards.
Wow.
Is that how we're going to get out?
Yeah, that's it. That's how you get out.
Eventually you'll go somewhere if you go far enough down there, and if you scuba gear, you can go all the way to San Antonio.
Wow.
20 miles that way.
That's the thing the office says. Okay, I guess we go back.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we go out the same way we came in. Up here to the left on the ceiling, there is a whole bunch of iron pyrite showing mineral within the pores.
Yeah, look at
Iron pyrite, otherwise known as fool's gold. There's a lot of fool's gold inside the cave.
wow. Whole ceiling there.
No real gold as far as I know.
Little bling in the ceiling, a little bling bling. See your breath?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Oh, this looks like something like a figure now.
Huh?
It looks like a figure.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This works best if you point your flashlights down at the ground, but you can see the cave go through. It works better if you're there. There we go. Even though this is more than a quarter of an inch thick, you can see right through it just because it's not solid stone. It's so very porous and full of water.
Good to be too in the summertime, nice and cool.
Now this is the part of the tour where we turn off all of our flashlights to see what happens. So we have cameras and phones as well. Any light here we can see.
Alright, where's that?
On the side.
Now this is the natural state of the cave, complete in total darkness. You can actually wave your hand right in front of your face and you won't be able to see it.
Nothing.
It's dark as dark can get.
Yeah. What you call it?
Can't get any darker.
Pitch bags.
Okay, that's enough.
It's a little creepy, but once you get
Yeah.
past that, it's very, very peaceful down here.
Yeah. Oh, look at all those, junction boxes.
Yeah, the electricians, in the middle of fixing all the lights in the cave, they all got knocked out last year.
Wow,
And,
that's pretty old though, or is that new stuff?
No,
oh, I have no idea.
I didn't do stuff here.
Remember what your head's going through the low section here?
Okay.
It's cool when it goes down your back.
Yes.
We're not seeing it, it's out there.
Thanks.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, it is.
You just make it like a floor like that.
Yeah, that pattern, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you feel good. I felt it was cool. You feel a little bit of a breeze coming through this part of the cave walking back. And now, it's really cold outside. We get a real good breeze through the cave. And you can feel it south, just walking back this way.
Oh, yeah.
If it's hot outside, I feel like there's hardly any breeze at all. You can walk back this way and you don't see
Ooh, look at all of- Oh, that's just water.
Yeah, our pump stuff there keeps this room
Oh,
along with the low section over there. That's one where we ditch down to the cave. The little pumps and everything. And, otherwise, most of the cave has a few feet of water in it.
really?
And now comes the fun part, walking back up.
Back up.
Well, there's a hole.